Something wrong with your finger.
12 o'clock, we got the Rams traveling to Indianapolis to play the Colts, right? So the Rams are an interesting team. I had them as my Super Bowl pick. I think the Rams are going to be one of the best teams in the NFC this year, not to mention the NFL. You got Matthew Stafford coming over from Detroit, and I thought Matthew Stafford was a top 10 quarterback in Detroit, and it was just brought down by the fact that Detroit is a garbage football team, and it sucks so bad. The organization is so horrible. Never set that man up for success, but finally he's in LA, a team that's actually set up for success. You got Sean McVay coaching him, and you got a receiving core, Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, Tyler Higbee. You got the running back room of Darrell Henderson Jr., who looked fine. I mean, like, the running game it wasn't astounding me, if I'm going to be honest. It's going to be a worry for me heading forward, because Cam Akers was supposed to be the number one back for this team, and you lose him at the beginning of the year, and at least you're not the Ravens, where you lose all of your running backs to start the year. But you do lose your starting running back. And so it's going to be interesting if Darrell Henderson Jr. can take over that role, and Sonny Michel, since they did that trade with the Patriots, can take over as that number 2 back for them. I'm interested to see how I really want to see some Jake Funk. I want some funk in this Rams offense. It's going to be really fun. I really want to see him play. But going on to the Colts side of things, they looked really bad, if I'm going to be honest. Now, to be fair, it's Carson Wentz's first week back. He had that injury, so he couldn't play a lot of the preseason and a lot of practices. So it was a brand new offense for him to learn. So it wasn't set up for him to be victorious week 1, but it wasn't an amazing offensive output, especially considering you have one of the best ground games in the entire NFL when you have Jonathan Taylor, you have Marlon Mack as your number 2 back, and you have Nyheim Hines, who is now a very well-paid running back to serve as your just guy you throw it to on third down. Now, there is a strength to that, but, like, again, you have 3 very good running backs on your team. You should be able to run on the ground a lot. The problem I am really interested with this Colts team is who the heck is Carson Wentz going to throw to outside of the tight end room? Because you got some Mo Alley Cox, you got Jack Doyle, you got Kyler Granson, who you drafted. You lose T.Y. Hilton. He goes on IR. So is Michael Pittman Jr. now your number 1 wide receiver, or is it Paris Campbell, or I just don't know any Indy receivers. Like, this Indy wide receiver class is rough. It's a rough unit. You're going to have to rely a lot on your ground game, in my opinion. And it's just the Colts are starting out with 2 of the top teams in the NFC and the Seahawks, and then playing the Rams. I just think the Rams are a very good football team. I think they're going to travel to Indy and win. What do you think about it?
Rams all the way. The Colts are going to struggle with Carson Wentz.